金色ラブリッチェ。
I'd been captivated by her ever since I enrolled here. And what I learned as a result was...
キサキさん狙ってるやつくっそ多いぜ。うちのクラス。てか、学年じゃ一番かも。
Wow!
大変魅力的な方ですからね。お友達も男女問わず多いですし。
Sounded like Reina was popular. Compared to Sylvie or Elsan, who were considered out of everyone's league, Reina's rise in popularity was thanks to her cuteness being on a more realistic scale. She doesn't have a boyfriend or anything, right?
ですね。聞いたことがありません。
ま、所詮は庶民だから俺たちに言わせれば声をかけるのははばかられる。
でも西郷くん、前に家に誘おうとしたよね。普通に断られたけど。
言うなバカ。
Huh.
そんなことが。
違う、俺が持ってきた漫画を読みたそうにしてたから3巻まで貸したことがあったんだよ。それで4巻からも読みたいって言うから、なら家でって言ったら持ってきてくれればいいよって。
Ah, she sidestepped you like a complete natural. She wasn't even being cautious. That was the way you turned down a member of the opposite sex you weren't even the least bit interested in. Cheer up! Listen, I hear Yadoki Gaeru-sensei is gonna put out a new cross-dressing manga.
わーい。
まあ西郷くんは誘い方がプライドに凝り固まってなってなかったとして、普通に告白しては玉砕している人も多いそうですよ。
Reina sure is popular. I doubt there were many boys who would blatantly profess their love like that nowadays.
木崎さんはなんていうか母性的なんですよね。優しいというかあったかいというか、ママよりもママっぽいというか、近くにいるだけで包まれているような気持ちというか。聞いてます？
She's no mommy. We were classmates, man.
いや、わかる。
包容力という意味ではわかります。
だよね。
Huh? Everyone other than me seemed to have unified in a semi-creepy direction.
なんかこう優しいのよ、空気が。
だよねだよね、ママだよね。
ママとかはともかく慈愛を感じますね。
Huh. I had no idea what they were talking about, but were people other than me always this agreeable? Motherly love. I hadn't heard the woman described in those terms anywhere but Fist of the South Star.
理想だな、ほんと。木崎さんみたいな人いいな。
What? Are you in love with her?
内面は最高ですね。あとは体が20歳上だったら告白していました。
アラフォーだぞ。
それくらいで完成されると思いますね、彼女は。
The man here had a wide variety of fetishes. The one thing I could say was, their inclinations aside, the man around her sure found her easy on the eyes. This was the one fact you could use to eloquently describe what sort of a girl Kisake Reina was. A marvelous thing indeed.
レーナのお話？
Yeah.
みんなレーナが大好きでしょ？
Sylvie replied proudly. The satisfied look on Sylvie's face showed just how happy she was that people were complimenting her friend. One correction. She wasn't just attractive from a man's point of view. However, now that I think about it, I really am blessed.
何が？
Never mind. Reina replied as she sprawled out on my bed and nibbled on potato chips.
レーナ、次のページ。まだ読んでる。はーい。まったくもう、
シルビー様、はしたないですよ。
Sylvie was there beside her. Elsan was here too, but if you were wondering why she wasn't lecturing her sloppy behavior,
エロいな。白滝というのはこれでよろしくて？
はい、おそらく。それで、なりません、神なる様。白滝をお肉の横に配置することはすき焼きの条理に反するとのこと。
it was because she was preparing tonight's dinner.
なぜ白滝はお肉から離すのかしら。すき焼きというのはお肉が主役なのでしょ？そこからわざわざ遠ざけるなんて。
申し訳ない。わかりかねます。しかし日本のすき焼きは鍋奉行なる厳正な役職によってルールを定められており、白滝と肉の関係もそこに記されているとか。
奉行。日本の歴史で学びましたわ。遠く江戸の時世、桜吹雪のタトゥーを背負い、悪代官なる幕府の重役を切り殺していた遊び人の名ですわね。ジャパンはやはり封建的ですわね。そんな悪辣な男の定めたルールでも伝統ならばと従わねばならないなんて。
いかな歴史も何かしら必要な理由がある。それが伝統というものです。ここは従っておくべきかと。
仕方ありませんわね。さようなら白滝。あなたのことは忘れなくてよ。
You could probably figure out the current situation even without much explanation, though.
エル、すき焼きできた？
もうしばらくお待ちください。今割り下を作っております。
割り下使うんだ。じゃあ関東風だね。関東風？なんですそれは。また奉行のやつめが何かルールを決めましたの？
It's fine, really. It won't change the taste.
楽しみだわ、すき焼き。
お任せください。
But yeah, we ended up having sukiyaki today at Sylvie's request. As a princess, I was sure she had eaten delicious meals from all around Japan at her assorted meetings and business dinners. However, sukiyaki was a luxury item for us commoners, and it hit us right in our blind spot. Not that I knew why we were having it at my place.
いいじゃん。ここが一番集まりやすいし。
Right. Yeah, may as well. It saved me the cost of a dinner. Getting to eat sukiyaki with the princess and tonight wasn't an experience that came along every day either. And then?
にしても腹減った。でも見たオーロ。シルビーたちが何気なく持ってきたお肉。超高いやつだったよ。
I am grateful they used ingredients that were up to their standards. Elsan's group had gotten all the tools and ingredients together for us. She and Mina-chan were also doing the cooking.
早く食いてー。もうじき12月。なんかさ、12月ってすき焼きって感じだよね。
Ah, I think I get what you mean.
そうなの？
Not that there's an actual reason.
うち大晦日12月31日は絶対すき焼きだったわ。
That's a coincidence. My family had sukiyaki a lot too.
ねえ、それで締めのうどんがお蕎麦になって。
Ah, dessert soba's gross when it's boiled, so you mean the kind you can dip in sukiyaki broth?
それあんまりやらないから大晦日だけの贅沢。意外とどの地域でも一人は通じる人がいる。日本人あるあるだよね。面白いわね。ねえエル、今年は私も大晦日の日すき焼きにしたいわ。
年末年始は国に帰っているはずですので、私どもでは決めかねます。
残念。じゃあオーロ、私らはそうしよっか。集まってすき焼き。
As long as there's good meat in it. By the way, she's been chit-chatting for quite some time now, but you're the only one not doing anything.
何が？
Never mind. Reina continued to laze around on my bed and refused to contribute toward meal prep. I'd noticed it a while back, but it seemed Reina couldn't cook. Was she really popular?
うーん
Wow! She dragged me onto the bed. What the heck?
いやー、さっきまでシルビーがいたからよかったけど、一人だと寒い。ちょっとそこ寝てて。あったかいから。
You're something else. It was true that it was a little chilly in the room right now. They were using an induction cooktop to heat the sukiyaki pot, so we cut the heater to divert electricity to it. Inviting a man into bed without warning? There's no telling what might happen to you.
なんだ？エロいことする気か？
Why do you sound happy about it?
いやまあ、最低限の安全はエルチンがいる時点で保証されてるし。
True enough.
いいよ、来いよ。
She faced upward, practically enticing me. In a way that suggested it was fine to be erotic. But...
何よ、しけ面かよ。
No, today in class I was gossiping with the others about you.
何それ？
It was an evaluation of the woman known as Kisaki Reina. As a result, we figured out you're extremely popular.
マジで？いや、それは、まあ分かってはいたけどね。誰とは言えないけど、そこそこな数の男子からモーションかけられてるし。あ、ちょっとオーロ、エロい目で見ないでちょうだい。私そんな安い女じゃないぞ。
She covered her body with her arms and hands. Based on my early observations, I noticed this woman loved to use her own body as material for some absurd comedy routine.
だから何よそのしけ面。
I was just wondering why someone like you was so popular.
失礼かよ。
It wasn't that I didn't understand why she was popular. Kind, cute and easy to talk to. Those sorts of traits were more than enough to trounce most men. But I still didn't understand what that motherly love thing meant.
でもそっか。
Hmm?
いや、教室でみんなとね。
Reina laughed happily. What the? It crossed my mind, but
できましたよ。
now that dinner was ready, our conversation naturally came to an end. Incidentally, as for the sukiyaki,
ですからゲロ、さっきから肉ばかり取りすぎですわ。ちゃんとお野菜もお食べ遊ばせ。
sorry.
お姉様は逆にお野菜ばかり食べすぎですわ。お豆腐とかいろいろあるんですから。この糸こんにゃくって感触がいまいちだわ。偉いな。すき焼きは生卵をつけて食べるのが作法とあったでしょう。ちゃんと生卵をつけなさい。
卵、生は苦手です。
まったく、みんなして困ったものです。ほら、キサキさんをお見習い遊ばせ。さっきからどれも均等に取って食べておりますわ。まあ当然だよね。ほら、お姉様もキサキさんを見習って。キサキさん、よく見たらさっきから手元に寄せた白菜なんかがちっとも減っておりませんわ。均等に食べてるようでお肉ばっかり食べてましたのね。バレた。
Man, this meat's tasty.
だからバランスよくお食べなさい。
I expected as much, but you're a major hot pot commissioner, huh, Mina-chan?
しけな。私のどこが人殺しの遊び人ですこと。
Despite the noisy girl in attendance, we had a delicious meal. It was a real treat to have two princesses and a knight sitting around and eating a meal together. And
あらあら、 肉追加しよう。
Sure.
バランス
The most popular girl in class.
金色ラブリッチェ。どったの、綾香。
土曜だというのに気が休まらないわ。お父様に呼ばれていて。
いいじゃんいいじゃん。パパさんが言うってことはまた芸能人に会えるんでしょ。
接待よ。まったくもう。10代の私がお酒の席なんて風俗じゃあるまいし。
綾香は美人だから接待で頼られるのは仕方ないよ。
不潔だわ。
ちなみに今日の接待相手って
なんだったかしら。鳴沢なんとか。
嘘、鳴沢京也？すごくない？
知らないわよ。芸能人興味ないし。
それでもテレビ屋のお嬢かいな。
下品だから嫌いなのよ。どいつもこいつも。そう、下品だわ。最近身の回りのものみんなが下品。気が休まらないと言うならこれが一番の原因ね。
まあね。
それというのも。
So then, after taking on 300 grams of super spicy curry, there was an extraordinary amount of spice built up in my system that day. Although it differs by person, your body can't properly digest spices and it comes out as is. That means any spice I took in collected at my, well, exit.
ああ、わかるわかる。ヒリヒリするよね。
お尻がですか？
粘膜だからね。
あかねちゃんは経験ないの？辛くてバーニングなものはよく食べるんだけどな。
You've got a strong constitution when it comes to spices then. That's a good thing.
弱いとほんと座れないからね、その日一日。
Yeah. And it'd be fine if I just couldn't sit. Not being able to touch it is the biggest issue, like if you put toilet paper in between, for example.
吹かないってことですか、先輩。
Don't get the wrong idea, I bear with the pain to wipe. Besides, we've got bidets and other modern conveniences these days.
水で洗うのはいいよね。だいぶ痛くないっていうか、痛くても気持ちいいっていうか。
Right. But then that's only true when you put it on the right setting.
なるほど。
I'm sure everyone has experienced the destructive force of a bidet set to full blast.
ああ、わかる。
知ってます。あれドリルですよ、ドリル。死ぬかと思った。経験ないな。
There was this one time I accidentally used the strongest bidet setting after eating a lot of spicy food and was in real agonizing pain. You called it a drill? That's accurate. I thought it was going to pierce my butt and shoot straight into my brain. Man, the pain was so intense a part of me thought, just finish the job and end me already. Okay, that's the end of my scary story.
ああ、怖い話大会にはどうよって話だけど、確かに一番怖かった。おや、早か。あんたも混ざるかい？結構、用事がありますので。下品！庶民の下品さが猟銃に感染してる！
まあまあ。
ったく。市松往路。あいつのせいでノーブル学園がめちゃくちゃよ！
I got some sort of chill. I had a feeling someone was directing some major bloodlust my way.
どうした？
Oh, nothing much. When I came back to my room, Ria was there. Perfect timing, as we could spend my day off reading manga or something.
さっきなんか外で盛り上がってたな。
Yeah, we were having a scary story contest of sorts and I joined in.
はーん。
It should still be going on outside.
なんか尻の穴がどうとか？
You think that was a little vulgar to talk about with rich girls? I ended up telling that story since it was the one episode in my life guaranteed to be hilarious.
いいんじゃね？お嬢様方も下ネタ好きって結構多いぜ。
There are?
大嫌いなやつもいるけど。
I wonder if Jogasaki overheard. Scary.
いつの間にか寮にも溶け込んだよな、お前。
You think?
1ヶ月前までなら、怖い話大会なんて、お前が混ざってきた時点で話するまでもなく優勝だろ。
Well, maybe they were that afraid of me. Looking back now, my time immediately after transferring in was depressing. That survival incident caused by the heavy rain had most certainly turned the tides. If nothing else, I could be out in the foyer without constantly being demonized by my dormmates, and that was a huge development by itself. There was also the fact Mina-chan moved in. Mina-chan stood out just as much as Sylvie did. Once she started looking after me, the boarders stopped treating me like I was dangerous since I was on such good terms with the Kaminal-san. But do you really think you can go so far as to say I'm integrated? There were plenty of girls I could talk to on a personal level, like Kaga and Akane-chan, but I didn't feel like I was fully integrated into the dorm. At the end of the day, I still didn't fit into the ambience of a women's dorm. Or so I thought anyway.
溶け込めてるよ。こういうのは主観より周りの目が大事だろ。俺の目の方が正確だ。
Really? If she said so, at the very least it looked like I fit in from a third party's point of view.
あいつに感謝しとけよ。
I know. Her. It was obvious who she was referring to. The certain someone who was friendly with all the boarders. There was no doubt that my dorm mates had started to see me in a more realistic light because I was friends with her, even more so than because Mina-chan was watching over me. I am grateful to her.
だろうな。
Maybe you'd call her a well-balanced person, the type that can get along with anybody.
うん。
Ria suddenly reacted to my comment. The well-balanced bit may have done it. Oh yeah, didn't you lecture a certain someone about balance this and balance that?
説教のつもりはねえよ。
No, it was a lecture, a lesson I was grateful for.
ち。バランスだ、バランス。重要な人間になるのは正しいと思う。
I believe she said. I do think it'd be bad to be an outcast in the dorm if I'm going to become a well-balanced person. If I'm blending in, then I'm glad.
かもな。
It wasn't because Ria had said it to me or anything. I did think I was that kind of person. The type who wanted to strike a good balance and lead a laid-back lifestyle. A blessed life like that seemed so right to me. I had already graduated from a life where I blended in as part of something.
あ。
Yeah?
タバコ切れてた。
She went to grab a smoke but was apparently out and squashed the box to a pulp. Why not use this as an opportunity to quit?
いや、買ってくる。
Ria left. I ended up tagging along with her as a result. This ended up being my first time walking outside with her. Where do you normally buy your cigarettes? I hope the convenience store has them. Despite her flashy hair color, Ria had a baby face and was quite short. If she tried to buy them at the convenience store, I bet the employees would give her weird looks.
無理ってわけじゃないぞ。私は20歳以上ですってボタンにタッチすれば普通に売ってくれるし。
What the fuck? That's all you have to do?
でも確かに変な目では見られるから基本自販機かな。カートンで欲しいときは名取。大人に買ってきてもらう。
Don't vending machines require you to submit some application and use a special card to buy them now?
知り合いの名義で持ってる。
She showed me her card. You're such a stereotypical delinquent.
いい子じゃない自覚はある。
And then?
あら。なぜ市松さんと？どうでもいいだろ。
We bumped into the worst person possible, but we avoided an argument after Ria casually brushed her off. I felt one hell of a glare on my back. What's the deal with you and Jogasaki?
どうって普通だけど。
Wouldn't a fastidious person like her and a cigarette-smoking delinquent mesh about as awfully as imaginable? We were both boarders, so would she not be subjected to the same harassment I was?
いつも口うるさくは言ってくるな。タバコはやめろやめろって。それ以外は別に。
Didn't sound like she had been subjected to any special harassment in particular. Jogasaki hated me and me alone? Damn it, why? Out of nowhere, Ria took a huge stretch.
そういや、街に出たの久しぶり。
You do usually hole up in your room.
ああ。
About the only times she ever went out were to the rooftop in the evening. I got the sense it was rare to even see Ria in fair weather to begin with.
さて、ここ。
She seemed to have memorized the closest place outside the academy and stopped in front of a cigarette vending machine. She held out her card in a familiar fashion and bought a single pack. By all rights, this should probably be the scene where I yelled out, "They're bad for you!" and stopped her, but I guess it was fine, really.
お前ってタバコには全然文句言わないよな。
Your health and whatnot's your problem.
煙たいとかはいいのか？タバコ嫌いなやつって結局一番気になるのはそこだろ？
I'm not bothered by it. Besides, you're smack dab in hot girl territory. I can more or less forgive a beautiful girl for being smoky.
は？
Smoky old men tend to irritate me though. It feels like I'm sniffing their bad breath or like I'm sucking in their exhaled air. But when it's a woman, especially a beautiful one, it actually makes me happy. What the fuck? If they could make a law against anyone but beautiful women smoking cigarettes, I doubt that modern day anti-smoking fascism ever would have come to be. Holy shit. Was this written by a smoker?
よくわからんし、なんかキモいわ。
Anyway, it doesn't bother me.
そう。
There was an ashtray beside the vending machine, so she lit one up right away. Don't smoke while you walk. It'll be dangerous if it hits someone else.
そこはわかってる。
It looked like we were on the same page. I watched patiently until Ria finished smoking. I wasn't bothered, but I was careless. I may not be bothered, but this was still full-fledged smoking. I had forgotten that we were out in public.
市松
Ah! I was called to and turned around. There were 3 men standing there. All 3 were well built with seemingly uniform crew cuts. And they were all acquaintances.
お前タバコ
うわ、最悪。
Huh? He isn't smoking though. From their point of view, that probably was how I looked right now, since I was chatting away like good friends in the smoking area with someone actively doing so.
勝手にいなくなったと思ったら
こういうことかよ。
誰？
No one special. Don't worry about them. I turned away. They no longer had anything to do with me. That was how I saw it anyway, but those three considered me.
ああ、久しぶりに会ったけど、人間落ちるときは早いね。
まあこんなもんだろうな。負け犬の最後なんて。
裏切り者は罰を受ける。世の中なるようになるもんだな。
They sneered at me, eager to pick a fight. Tja. Wait, calm down. Ignore them, ignore them. These weren't hoodlums. They were just riling me up. It wasn't as if they wanted to fight. As long as I left them be, they should leave soon enough.
すげえ女連れてんな。
うわ、ほんとだ。びっちくせえ。
Hey! But I snapped back at them. I didn't care what they said about me. Yank. But then Ria tugged on my shirt from behind. The way Ria shook her head to tell me not to worry about it helped me to somehow regain my composure.
随分と仲がおよろしそうで。行こうぜ。喫煙中に付き合ってると、それだけで肺にダメージ受けそう。
だな。俺たちはまだ将来有望。青春真っ只中の浜南野球部なんだから、体には気をつけないと。
They thankfully left in a hurry as they cackled out loud to themselves. Phew! Who boy, the storm had passed.
悪いな。俺に付き合ったせいで。
Ria seemed to have inferred what happened, put out the other half of her cigarette in the ashtray, and pointed toward the dorm. It's fine, I tagged along because I felt like it. We headed back to the dorm together. Back toward Noble Academy. Once we made it to the dorm, I wouldn't run into them anymore. I wouldn't run into my past.